What's up, guys? How's everyone doing today? Hopefully everybody's well. It is Tuesday, April 14th, 10 a.m. here in Sydney, Australia. Wherever you are in the world, I say welcome. Let me know how you're doing. Tap in. We're going to go over some stuff today. We have a lot of fights to look ahead upcoming week. There's some fights today. I think I'm going to do a little just I don't want to call it a degen bet, but just like last night, we did a free game double in Japan. It didn't hit. It was fun though. If you're in the Discord, you would know what I'm talking about. We took Rikishi by knockout. He literally had a walk-off home run. He won his fight by knockout with 10 seconds left. The Discord was going crazy. And then some of us took Mendoza by knockout, and he got starched early against Simsri. It was a fun fight while it lasted, though, because there were even moments in the Mendoza fight where he caught Simsri with the cleanest hook that you could catch anyone with, and Simsri just ate it. And then he ended up a few moments later stopping Mendoza. But it was fine, dude. It was all fun. If you're a true fan of the sport, those are the sort of bets that you're not betting a lot of money on. Those are, I guess we could call them entertainment bets. I wouldn't have stayed. I had to get up at 4 a.m. this morning, and I stayed up till midnight watching those fights. So those are kind of like, if you sprinkle 25 bucks on the fight Yamaguchi's fighting, for instance, right? Depending what your pay, if your bankroll isn't a lot, if you put 10 bucks on Yamaguchi to win on points, it's $1.80. Yamaguchi on the money line is $1.42. If anything, it's an opportunity to watch boxing. You don't have to gamble on it though. I'm just letting you guys know. Whenever you see me put on Instagram, on YouTube, the picks out for free that aren't part of our Discord, I call it free game. Those are like entertainment bets. Last weekend we went 4 for 4 with our free game bets. This week we lost our first one, but hey, we're only as good as our last bet, and we're only as bad as our last bet. Remember that. Always look ahead, right? I'm a hopeless romantic, a consummate optimist. So we got Yamaguchi fighting today. I sprinkled a little something on the Bet365 here in Sydney. Allows me to do Yamaguchi on points, $1.80. So that's my action. I'll post it. I also just put together I call this a Tommy Randone special. If you're a fan of the show, if you follow Tommy and Paul, you'll know who Tommy is. He's been trying to talk me into doing like a long-term parlay for months. Like this guy will have like at any given time 10 to 15 active parlays with fights happening to this week all the way till July. And I've never done that. I don't operate that way. I think because I'm too antsy, or he calls it instant gratification. But I did put together a 9-leg that starts this weekend, and it doesn't finish until July, and it pays plus 500, which is great. And I'm going to put that up in the Discord. If you're a JSB insider, you already have a ticket going into this week. I gave you guys a plus 210 double. It's a 2-leg. It's our first live ticket for our Discord for the JSB insiders of the week. And like every week, a lot more are coming. You guys are going to get my long parlay, my safety net parlay, a dog of the week. There's UFC fights. There's a lot to get into. Lorente versus Nathaniel Collins 2 going down in Scotland. We covered the first fight. If you want to see my breakdown, analysis, and prediction of the first fight that ended in a draw, if you just want to refresh your memory on who these guys are, that's on my playlist, the Stats Don't Lie playlist. And a couple breaking news announcements with the fight card. Tam Tebow, her fight was on the MVP card. The Shadesha Green undercard, her fight is off. And then Peter McGrail, who's on the undercard in Scotland of Collins Lorente 2, his fight is off. So just keep that in mind. Lewis Neary versus Casemiro, their fight is off. That whole card got scrapped. That was supposed to be in Kyrgyzstan this weekend. I'm only referencing those 3 specific ones because if you're in Australia, all 3 are still showing on Sportsbet. So I could save you guys a little bit of headache. Stay away from Peter McGrill. Stay away from Lewis Neary. Stay away from Tam Tebow. Those fights are not happening. Other than that, hopefully everyone's doing well. Pinned right there in the comments section is our JSB Discord link. We're approaching 500 JSB insiders. You can join here on YouTube or on Patreon, whichever way you do. It's a couple bucks a month. We're far more than just boxing. We're far more than just gambling. It's literally a betting community. There's baseball. Shout out to a boxing fan. He's become our Major League Baseball sharp. Shout out to Ranvar Litter, who he's our newest JSB insider. NHL channel, MMA channel, tennis, racing, all that good stuff. So click that link to find out more. And I'm going to say what's up to everybody. I don't expect it to be too busy just because we've had massive amounts of fights the last few weekends. And not, considering 65% of the crowd here is American, when we're looking at the books, which I'll pull up shortly, there's not, I mean, you got the AB fight, the Bumgarner card. But other than that, not a lot of massive fights in terms of like the casual mainstream. So I'll pull up the odds. What's up, boxing fan? Man, you gotta tell me how what the strategy is with the baseball gambling because baseball is my sport. I'm gonna pull up the odds real quick. Okay, so this is just the odds, right? This is just what we got going this week. So this is sports bet. This is on points. I'm getting him at $1.80. A little bit of an entertainment play, nothing too crazy. That'll be given out to for free to the boys. And then Friday we have this card. There's fights. I think that Kameda fight's not happening. That Robledo. Let me double check if Kameda versus Robledo is off too. If this is the Kyrgyzstan fight, it's off. Yeah. Yeah, so this Adrian Robledo Konosuke Kameda fight is not taking place because that whole card got canceled. That was supposed to be with Luis Nery and Casemiro here. So just disregard that. Yeah, so we got like a lot of cancellations this week, which kind of sucks. Arbuckle versus Lev. People have been asking me about this fight. Look, it looks like we're gonna have to play these domestic sea level Scottish fights, British UK fights. I didn't plan on putting money on Dylan Arbuckle versus Nico Levers, but shit, the game we play. And there might not be a lot. So in terms of odds, those are pretty decent. But guys, if you see Dylan Arbuckle and Nico Levers on one of my tickets, that is a half unit play. This is a C-level domestic UK fight. Just keep that in mind. It's on the undercard in Nathaniel Collins versus Cristobal Lorente 2. Barney Smith versus McIntosh. Sam Gilly versus Aston Brown. This is Collins versus Lorente. I do have a ticket live with this fight. You could ask about it if you want. Alex Vargas versus Ryan Rourke. I mean, what are we doing here? This Alex Vargas fight is on the undercard of, I think it's on the Shadesha Green undercard. I mean, we're really in the murky waters here. Ryan O'Rourke, undefeated kid, not a lot of pop. Alex Vargas disappeared for years. Kind of a weird fight, if you ask me. Shadesha Green. Lanny Daniels, you should recognize Lanny Daniels. She's gonna. We just saw her featured on a big fight not too long ago. It's for a world title fight. Shadesha Green. Bumgarner versus Boshi Rin. I have a prop on Bumgarner that's live. The Casemiro Neri fight is not taking place. Joe McGrill, Aaron Hayden. So look, maybe we take some dogs this week. Maybe we get sexy, do some film study. Maybe Aaron Hayden's live at plus 260. I don't mind that right now. I don't mind that at plus 260. It's not official. Molly McCann, she's going to do. They're building Molly McCann. We know she was an amateur boxer. She had aspirations of going to the Olympics. Either they didn't have women's boxing or she just didn't qualify and then she started doing MMA. She had a nice little run in the UFC. She got hands. She could box. Molly McCann has good hands. She grew up boxing. So I don't want to call this a lock, but I'm obviously taking Molly here. That Peter McGrill fight is off. Ben Whitaker props are not out yet on this. Dusmatov props are not on this. and then Jimenez versus Sano. This is another one. So maybe we do an underdog. Look, I'm probably not going to go full unit on any of these this week, guys. We're up a lot. We made a lot of money since January, and we know it's not about it's about it's about having fun, enjoying yourself, the sport of boxing. But we are up. If you're following along since January, you're doing well. Okay, this could be one of those trap weekends where guys are think like I'm not going big on any of these fights, just so you know. I'm probably not going to even go a full unit on any of these fights, but I'm going to cover all these fights, and you're going to get as much action as you normally do from us. So that being said, we're about 11 minutes in. I didn't expect 40 people in here. But last week we were peaking between 80 and 100 in the live streams. It's just we had a lot of action last week. And usually with these cards, when the ladies are headlining, the MVP cards, the viewers are down. It's all good, though. I'm going to say what's up to everybody. Simsy ruined my parlays. Of course he did. Simstry, he fucking went out there and starched old boy. Nathaniel Collins, Sam Gilly, and I still have Collins as a final leg on several parlays. I have a lot riding on that boy. I thought he clipped me too. I had Nathaniel Collins winning the first fight. I like Cristobal Lorente is very predictable. He literally just stands there and prods that jab. If anything, I was frustrated watching Collins. He got lured into this dog fight. He got lured into this weird I go you go game when he's a slick boxer. He can use the whole ring, southpaw style. You got Lorente just doing this the whole time, circle away, and he was doing that in moments. Like you saw Nathaniel Collins' pedigree in flashes. I totally expect an elevated version of Nathaniel Collins. We know I posted on my Instagram. Nathaniel Collins spent time at Wildcard Boxing, so it's always a good sign when we have these guys from the UK coming over the pond, getting rounds in, training. I think he worked a lot with Magsayo for Magsayo's last fight. We just watched Magsayo on Zuffa. He looked amazing. Probably the best version we've seen of Mark in recent memory. And Nathaniel Collins helped him get ready for that camp and vice versa. So I like that. It shows you the psychological sort of connections of a fighter when they uproot their entire lives and they choose to go become uncomfortable. We saw Aaron McKenna do this quite often, and we've won a lot of money on McKenna in the past. Hopefully we see that guy get more active. Who else? Jack Catterall. We saw Catterall do this. So this is a pattern that I've picked up. This is a pattern when I see UK fighters who think that they know they need a change, or they know they need a level up, and they do that, and they come to the States to do that. They usually have good fights afterwards. Catterall, for instance, coming off a stoppage victory, which we hit on that as well. So I'm comfortable with Collins on the money line. I'm comfortable with Collins on points. I like Alicia Bumgardner on the money line. I like Alicia Bumgardner on points. You could look into parlaying those two together. I haven't. So you're going Sam Gilly as the dog. Gilly's already at plus money. I think he's a 135. So yeah, not a bad read, Barium. Not a bad read. How do I feel about the Ben Whitaker fight? He should win the fight. I don't. I mean, the matchmaking. Let me show you real quick. Another kid who looked totally different after changing camps. So Ben Whitaker, he didn't go to the States. He just changed camps, went to Andy Lee after his first fight with Liam. We saw a lackluster performance with Liam Cameron the first time. He goes to Andy Lee. I assume he's still with Andy Lee. He's fighting a dude named Brian Suarez, who's 21-4. Let's check him out. An Argentinian, 6', 34-year-old Argentinian kid, 21-4, 20 knockouts. He's been stopped 3 times. Who's he been knocking out? Let's see who he's been knocking out first before we get all excited and start thinking about a plus 1,000 dog. His only loss was to a kid 14-0. He got dropped twice in the first round. Oh no, he dropped his opponent twice in the second round. He lost to Voisin in Russia. So he's dropped or stopped. He lost to a kid who was 6-0. Every time he goes to Russia, he loses. So the his only losses are when he's traveled. What's that tell you about him? You know what I mean? This guy was handpicked. You know, every time he's left Argentina, he's lost. I don't have action on it because the odds aren't that good at this moment, but I'll tape it. And you know, every time Ben Whitaker fights, people are excited about it. So I think that we shouldn't get fooled by his opponent's knockout to win ratio, considering it's a 96% knockout to win ratio, but they're all in Argentina. That first, yeah, and I like Nathaniel Collins. The first fight was a fun fight. Lorente lured him into his style of fight. That's the only way Lorente can win that fight, and Nathaniel Collins obliged him. I think a lot of this has to do too, guys. I don't know how long you've been on the channel, but we've been covering Nathaniel Collins' last 3-4 fights. This probably is his 5th fight I'm covering, and we've won a lot of money. We took him when he fought Lee McGregor. He was the underdog. So we not only had McGregor, we not only had Nathaniel Collins as the dog. I picked Nathaniel Collins by stoppage at plus 450. So I tend to roll with guys that have won us money in the past until they don't. Now, granted, the draw killed a ticket of mine last time, but I still edged it to Collins. I thought he did enough to beat Lorente. This fight is in Scotland. Scotland! Scotland Yard! Awful accent. It's just fun to say. Say it. Say Scotland. And so I think maybe that first fight against Lorente, the card was built around him. It was like a lot of pressure, the lights. Maybe Collins was just too excited. I'm expecting bigger and better things. I'm expecting him to get the job done. High interest. Yo, Johnny, brother, what's the dealio? I'm good, man. We appreciate you, High Interest 438. You're a valuable asset to our team, to our squad. Everybody here, JSB Insiders, man, we are growing. We're approaching 500. I think in our Discord now we're at 478. And August 1 will be a full year. So we haven't even reached a full cyclical cycle yet around the sun. But I know High Interest is an OG member. You bring a lot of value to our squad, so I appreciate you. Brown is on upset alert. What's up, Jay? Another JSB sniper in the house. Let's pull it up. Brown is on upset alert. I think we're going to find upsets this week, boys. This has the makings for one of those weekends. I think we're going to see some maybe plus 200 upsets. And I already know I got and you guys are definitely getting a dog of the week from me this week. We've hit nine weeks in a row. It's just last week our dog was UFC with Cub Swanson. I didn't give you a boxing dog, but we still hit 8 tickets like the savages that we are. So let's see what Julius is up to. He says Brown is on upset alert. Yes. Yeah. I think he is too. I'm not jumping on it yet, but for all the boys tuning in, write this down in your notebooks. You're doing your film study. Study this one, tape this one, whatever boxing groups you're in, whether you're in my group, you're in 3D's group, Tommy's group. Ask all the boys about this fight. Ask them for their opinion. Don't just ask me. You know what I mean? Then try not to get caught in an echo chamber where you're just listening to one guy. Use all of. There's not a lot of us. There's not a lot of guys out here on the internet doing live streams with boxing odds and giving you breakdown analysis and predictions. We're a small community, so use us as tools. I would put this as one of those questions. Ask Tommy, ask Paulie, ask Gary who they like in this. I already had Sam Gilly highlighted as a potential dog, plus 185. And we know damn well how these odds are. This isn't going to be a major fight. So the minute international money isn't going to be massive. So the minute the boys find out if one of us takes Gilly as the dog, you know the odds are going to shift. We see that happening every week. But I think Julius is up to something here. And I agree. This is something I had on my mind as well. Outside of the Collins card, I don't plan on putting in any other tickets this week. I'll get an early start on Miller Perro. Yeah, there's a lot of work ahead, and this is a great point. Barry Unboxing, appreciate you, bro. You do great work in our Discord. Everybody in our Discord knows the value Barry Unboxing brings to our team. He gives us breakdown, analysis, predictions, always dropping insights. We got a strong team inside there. But like I said, from my perspective, I'm going to give you your normal. I don't know if I'm going to give you 8 tickets. At least I got 3 loaded already, so at least 6. But nothing, I'm not betting heavy this week, guys. I'm going into this week like I do every week, locked in, loaded, giving you guys winners, etc. Value, value, value. It's just that on the horizon, we have a lot of big fights, man. You know what? I'm going to let's do this real quick. I'm going to answer everyone's questions. I'll wait till the 30-minute mark. I'm going to go over this long-term parlay I put together at plus 500. I'm excited about it. I want to get your feedback. StreamYard said that I could do a poll on the live stream, but I'm not seeing. Let me see if this disconnects, I'm going to be salty. Okay, new poll. Look at that. Boys are figuring things out. Type in the question. Who's more likely? Okay, so on my 9-legger, I'm seeing if this works. Shock Foster, Stephanie Hahn. Okay. Who's more likely? And this might sound out of left field, but I'll explain in a second. Shock Foster or Stephanie. And I'm not giving you an out. You're going to have to pick one of these. Okay. Shock Hahn. And I'm not giving you neither. You have to pick one of these. So let's see how StreamYard presents this to you guys. Who's more likely to Shock Foster, Shock Hahn? Create. Okay. Are you guys, so we have about 60 people in this live stream. Are you able to see this poll that I just created? And if so, let me know. And if so, vote in this poll. And it's related to this 9-leg parlay that I have that I'm going to give to everybody. The first leg starts with Alicia Baumgartner. The last leg ends with Abdullah Mason on July 5th. It pays plus 500. So plus, and I really like it. So the crazy thing is, okay, so start and show. Okay, do you guys see it now? Let me know if you see it on the screen. And let me know if you could vote, and I want to see if I could still see the chat. All right, perfect. I think we're good. So vote that, and the reason why I put these two, because of the 9-leg parlay, and obviously I have Shock Foster beating. I have Shock beating Ray Savage, and I have Stephanie Hahn beating Holly Holm. Okay. Here are the fights. Alicia Baumgartner money line, Noe Inoue money line, Benavidez money line, Hergovich money line, Keyshawn money line, Hamza Shiraz money line, Stephanie Hahn money line, Shock Foster money line, Abdullah Mason money line. That pays plus 500. You guys don't see it. Okay, that sucks. You don't see it on the screen? Huh. You don't have it. Hey, boss. Okay, I see somebody voted. I'm going to just continue with the chat now. What's up, fellas? Cordina took a beating. Cordova. Yeah, he did. Cordova got that. He landed a good hook though, man. Dude, I thought he had him hurt Simsbury. And I think Cordova thought he had him hurt. Is there a boxing underdog this week? I like Sam Gill. Okay, they love Eddie in the house. So that's Eddie. That is Julius. That is me. So there's 3 of us who are already liking Gilly. It's a far look ahead, but I can see Zerto last in the distance. Andre. Sam Gilly boxing since 11. User in the house. User, my name's Johnny, by the way. Nice meeting you. Hi, Johnny. Greetings, bro. Another good. Yeah, we're doing Win Santiago. Cue your music. All I do is win, win. Right? Armando Resendez, it's crazy. Look at these. I was looking at this today. Armando Resendez is a plus 175 against Jaime Munguia. So yeah, Eddie, you and I are eye to eye on this. I had it May 3rd, so it's in 2 weeks. We might, you know what? We might smash that soon, bro. You know how these odds flip. We might smash that soon. Um, guys, we're almost at the 30-minute mark. We got 70 people. We're flowing between 70. We peaked to 85. Just like this video. That's all I ask of you. Not a lot to ask for, right? All right, you guys are getting me antsy with the Sam Gilly. I'm about to smash it now. Let me check our poll to see if it's two people have voted in the poll. Who's more likely to lose, Shock Foster or Stephanie Hahn? Okay. I like Ben Whittaker to knock out less than 2 rounds. My crystal ball says crystal ball. Well, thank God we don't listen to you, Macho. I'm kidding. Thank God we don't be messing with you, Macho. Get your punk ass out of here. Kidding, bro. We appreciate you, Macho Gabacho. Macho Gabacho, dos y tres. I know Bun's a shot, but I tell you, Mike Mallet. Gilbert. But that fight's in Canada, too. Isn't that fight in Canada? Mike Mallett's a Canadian. When he fights in Canada, he like channels his GSP aura. I don't think Burns is beating Mike Mallet. Ashton Brown is 35, only 9 pro fights, never fought past 6. Did time, history, alcohol, substance abuse, 4 years sober. Right. This sounds like a Barium Boxing. This is well written. This sounds like a slam poetry poem. Aston Brown is 35 years old, only 9 pro fights, has never fought past 6 rounds, did time, history of alcohol and substance abuse, 4 years sober, and riding a wave of 4 straight knockouts versus anemic opposition. Selling us on our boy, Sammy Boy. Maybe you have to. Maybe you could only see it if you're on a laptop. I don't know. I'll look about the StreamYard widget because I had an add a widget. You know, I'm not the most tech savvy. Maybe you have to be on a laptop or a tablet to be able to vote. Because right now I see 2 people voted. Those of you guys who voted in the poll, are you using a laptop or a tablet? It'd be nice to know if you guys want to be cool and educate us. Hey, boss. What's up, Cody? I don't have it. Mason in the house. They love Eddie. I don't trust Hergovich. You don't trust Hergovich? You're being too mean, Mosby. I trust Hergovich. We should have took the notes. Come on, who's user? User. It's always easy to look back, right? You know what's crazy is like when we lose, it's we should have. But when we win, we don't talk about it. Did you notice that? I don't like talking about wins. I don't know, man. I think it goes back to like the day after we'll talk about our wins, obviously, because it's important. But it's like we got to win and move on. We're like the game we play, guys. We're in like this constant NCAA basketball tournament, and we have to win and move on. You know, it's like rather than a bracket of 65, it's like a 365-day bracket. We got to focus on winning and moving on. Sup, fellas? John McGanna, my guy. So we salute you. Tommy Guns in the house. What's up, Tommy Guns? 247 me too. Are we just gonna do it now? Then are we doing it? I'm gonna do it right now, guys. I'm gonna do it right now because you know those odds are gonna crash, and I'm gonna do it on my mobile device because I don't want you savages to somehow hack into my laptop. So I don't keep that signed in, but I'm gonna lock it in right now. I'm not going full unit on any fights this week. So I know the boys in the Patreon are going to ask me. The boys in the YouTube, which is fine. Ask away. So you know if you're catching this now or if you're catching this in the uploads. I'm not doing a full unit on any fights this week. Okay? If your winnings could pay a bill, withdrawal, and we are up. So there's no need to get sexy. There's no need to have an ego. There's no need to chase. There's no need to get brave or cute. This is, for me, this would be more of like a chill entertainment style of betting week. Last week was serious. I was stressed last week. Every fight last week would have me stressed. We only lost one fight. So after that stress, after watching Fury versus Makhmudov for 12 rounds, I'm going to chill this week with my heavy betting. I am currently, though, if you want to know, and I know our Twitter friends are going to love this. I can't believe he did it on a live stream. I can't believe Johnny's doing it again. Johnny's destroying our industry. He needs to be stopped. How dare he give his community winning tips? All right, we're live. I put it in. I didn't want to miss out. I have a fear of missing out. That's what we got, our dog of the week. And we got him. They're going to hate us for this. We got him there. So I'm in. You boys, I'd follow if I were you. I'm going to post that in the Discord. Santiago, you are a G. You are an attribute to our community, a fine asset. Everybody in the Discord will know when. He's in a few of the Discord channels, not just boxing. He's always posting his winners. And great feedback, great support. Our community is really tight, and we are growing. And the best thing about last night, this is going to sound weird to outsiders, but we were all live streaming the Japanese card. And at 11 p.m. my time, and we're an international community, people from all over the world were watching, like 100 of us, watching this minuscule Japanese card. There were probably more people in our Discord watching it than there were in the crowd, right? And Rikishi, all the boys, we took Rikishi by knockout. And with 2 rounds left, the people were like, this, he's not going to get the knockout. He gets a knockout with 10 seconds left. It was insane. And the whole Discord goes crazy. And then all we needed, the fight that we were all convinced on coming through, was the main event, and he got knocked out. And I know we're in, and we lost. And so I know we're in a good place in our Discord. The overall health of our Discord is after a loss, there were no meltdowns. You know what I mean? If we would have rewound that 4 months, people would have had a meltdown. So I know we're in a good spot. What's up, Joe? What's up, Mervin? Appreciate you. Dr. Hook is back, my guy. Dr. Hook Carlos, what's good? God bless you and the parlays. Bless you as well. Bless us. Bless our squad. Bless everybody. We all need blessed. No shock surprised me last fight, but I can see Ray putting up a fight. Can't see how nothing after that. Can't see Holly. Yeah. And I lost money. And this shows you how I'm not married to any bets. I'm not married to any fighters. I don't have favorite fighters. I don't have guys I cheer for. I'm a fan of the sport. So Holly Holm, I picked her last fight. She was getting her ass beat. I can't believe they're doing a rematch. Stephanie Han was punching downhill, and they stopped the fight, cuts or something. And they're doing the rematch. And I'm not picking Holly again. There's no way. Stephanie Han, Stephanie Han impressed me. I didn't think she had that much skill. She was very skilled. They ain't upset Plant for nothing. They ain't upset Plant. Yep. Resendez. I assume, I know some of the boys in our group, Carlos, have already smashed Resendez. Now, it's obviously based off of Resendez's last performance against Caleb. But you guys aren't going to like what I'm about to say. I don't mind Jaime Munguia, man. I know. I can't believe you say that. Like, I don't mind Jaime Munguia. Like, I've watched him his whole career. I've watched him go from a guy that, when he had that very inflated Mexican record, everybody, people have always been hard on him for obvious reasons, how he was marketed, but dude, he trains his ass off. He's still pretty young. He went to Riyadh and got his get back against Bruno Sarase. And if we're talking about, I mean, Resendez's resume isn't all sparkly clean. Resendez got knocked out against Elijah Garcia at 160 pounds. I think. Yeah, it was at 160. So Munguia, I'm not 100% convinced Resendez beats Munguia. What's up? I'm late. I have to catch the post vid, but I did not. Okay, Resendez's best. What's up? What's up, Brandon? Resendez's best performance. He's coming off a career best performance against Caleb, in which he was a plus 900, in which Caleb Plant ruined many parlays throughout the world. So I smashed Resendez already. If odds get better for Resendez, then I'm gonna put more. Eddie's in the house. Holla. Can't see the poll. Pause. That Mendoza upset was what it was, boy. It was. It wasn't. I mean, it wasn't that crazy of an upset on paper. Both guys were like crazy records. The odds weren't crazy. The fight was crazy, and Simstry was out there. He, you know what he did? He big brothered him. He bullied him. I didn't think that was going to happen. And we already mentioned this on the chat earlier. Hindsight is always 2020 looking back. But there was a moment when they were walking out for me, and I'm watching, and I see Mendoza's neck. That fool's neck was like that. It was all skinny. And I was like, oh shit, we might be fucked, boys. I was like, that dude walks around. Like, I was like, you better tuck that in, boy. You don't get that neck was like that. And I didn't say it, but that's what I was thinking. I was like, you better tuck that in. You better get the tennis ball drill. And sure enough, man, he got that neck touched. I like Balmy Reshin. She's cool. She's cool. I like her. I watch her fights. She ain't beating AB. She ain't beating AB in America. I think Ben gets stoppage. Probably. I like Bomi Shirin too. I like the fighter. I do. I think it's going to be closer than what people think. The Mendoza upset was wild. Did not expect that. Rando, I see you, player. Rudy. Thoughts on Lavar's and Arbuckle? Yeah. The odds are going to tempt the odds on this are going to tempt us all week in conversation. I'll show you. You know what I mean. But it's a sea level, and I'm not talking like the salt in the sea. These are domestic level guys. So like the odds are going to tempt us into betting it, is my point. But Dylan Arbuckle versus Nico Lavars, I mean, good luck, dude. These guys, I mean, they're just getting started. They're just young guys just getting started. They're on their way. They're domestic fighters, boys. They're domestic fighters. I just seen the line for Hergovich, Allen. No, I think Allen's alive, dog. God damn it. Dave Allen. Oh, God damn. You guys really have no respect for Hergovich? I think Dave Allen. I think Hergovich beats him easy, boys. I hit on Fury decision. So did I. Ben decision. I played Ben on the money line. Good hit, buddy. That's a nice payout. That's because you know what you're doing. That's because you know what you motherfucking talking about, motherfucker. You know what you're doing, motherfucker. Mendoza upset set me back a little bit. Set you back? I mean, we lost it. How much did it set you? How much did you bet on that, Brendan? Woo! Woo! Not gonna lie, this weekend is a chill weekend after. Yeah, I know. I know it's a chill weekend. I'm looking forward to this weekend too to be chill, because we've had, but there's still like fights I gotta cover and tape. I told you I got action today. Full transparency at $1.80. It's not a chase. It's not a get back. It's an entertainment play. Mike from Melbourne. Sub Johnny. Looking forward to Neri Casamento. Fight is off, Mike. Literally every fight you talk, 50% of your wishings is not happening, bro. Sorry to be the bearer of bad news, but Luis Neri Casemiro fight card not happening in Kyrgyzstan. Shadej Chagrin's fight is happening. Collins' fight is happening, but Peter McGrail's fight is off. Peter McGrail's fight is not happening. Joe McGrail? Joe McGrail's fighting. Peter McGrail? Not so much. Dr. Hook, Johnny, the go to boxing parlay. Shout out to you. We're only getting better, man. Thank you for your support. Thank you for your kind words. We're only getting better. Every loss is a lesson. Every loss is a lesson. I am just wait till you see us in a year. You always hear me talk about fighters, how said fighter isn't a finished product. I'm by no means a finished product. I just started learning about the strategy of gambling in August. I've never sat here and told you this was a gambling community. I am a boxer, a lifelong boxing athlete, a coach, a teacher, a student. I've gambled my whole life, but I'm just learning about the strategies, and that's why, our numbers and our results do speak for themselves with our wins, because I'm getting better and better at strategy. I know the game. I know the sport. I know the matchups. I know styles. I know, the politics. I grew up around the sport. So I know that. But that's not just you don't just win just knowing the sport. You have to know the strategy of betting. And you don't just win if you just know the strategy of betting. You better know the sport. And so we are putting them they're coming together nicely. But my mindset on this is just wait till you see us in a year. Wait till you see us in 5 years. This shit in 5 years is going to be insane. Bookmark this exact bit. This is how I'm wired, dude. We're only we're like an 8-month-year-old embryo. We launched in August, September, October, November, December, January, February, March. This is our 8th full month. We're 7.5 months in. Wait till you see us in a year, 2 years, 3 years. It's exciting. I'm super excited about this. I'm super grateful for you. Got stressed too. Dude, it was so stressful. It was so and I said this on the live stream yesterday, and shout out to Tommy Randone. He's kind of like a Tommy. I lean on Tommy a lot from like mentoring side, from the betting side. Not to mention he's a solid ass pro. 24. I think he was 24-8, never been stopped. New York pro, tough kid. But he gave me a tip a couple weeks ago about betting. When he was like, Johnny, when you take the points, don't sit there and watch the fight. He was like, don't sit there and take every punch with your fighter. He was like, you're gonna lose your hair. He was like, go do chores. So I did that. The Fury, but the Justice Hooney. Oh my God, how great did Fraser Clark look? I know we live in a world, and our sport, the boxing fandom of boxing casuals is fickle, but I didn't pick Fraser Clark. I picked him to lose. I picked Justice Hooney on my long parlay and safety parlay. But goddamn, Fraser Clark looked good. I messaged him on Instagram. I did. I was like, bro, you got to keep your head up. He came in shape. His cardio was that was the best version I had ever seen of Fraser Clark. And that was the only version that would have given Justice Hooney fits. He just wasn't good enough. It's boxing. And it just goes to show you the skill set of Justice. Even in that last round when Big Fraze knew he needed to do some damage, and you started seeing Hooney going up and under, using the whole ring. It was a stressful fight, for sure. Money Mooch. Floyd coaching in the house. Floyd says, when Santiago's a real one. Yes. You got to, Floyd. And this is something that our group has gotten better with. Early days of our group, it was filled with guys who were just post their wins. We don't care if you don't post your. Look, we want everybody to win, obviously. But over time, when you start seeing the same guys over and over, not contributing to the chat during the week, not being positive during the chat during the week, not posting their bets during the week, only after a bet wins, they just show up out of nowhere with like a winning ticket and they expect to get love. We're like, We're like, no, dude, don't even post it. Because if you didn't post it before, keep it to yourself. And that's where our group's, it's become really accountable for that, which I think is a good thing. We want a group, we want a transparent group. Like we want the feedback, the input. The strength of our Discord is the community having chats like this. You know, every week. I still have a couple books that have Nico. So is that the move, boys? Are you guys betting Nico? You're betting this fight. Is this the thing? I didn't realize this was a thing. Answer me right now. Is this so you guys had this fight on your radar before this fight week? I want you to be real with me. So going into this week, everybody knew about Dylan Arbuckle and Nico Lavars. Is this a thing? Am I just tripping? Or is it because the odds are like this? And there's no right or wrong answer. There's no right or wrong answer. I'm trying to learn here. Any thoughts on Collins and Crucible? I think Collins pulls it off. Randall Light, my tickets are up, brother. Check it, 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 check it. It's up. Pero upset of the month. Really? I don't know yet. I don't know yet. I know a lot of people like Pero. Where's Skills at? My boy Skills. Skills has been messaging me about Pero all month. He's been like, Johnny, dude, you gotta check Pero versus Big Baby. Pero's gonna win that fight. I go, it's not on my radar. Not much pre-bet puts in NBA though, because I also tell the boys NBA threat. Right? Thanks, community. Can you check this parlay, Alicia? Yep. Yes. Mervin, play that. Your odds probably aren't going to be that good, but if you have, those are 4 winners. Johnny, nah. Nope. I don't see Cristobal Lorente beating him. I see the adjustments Nathaniel Collins is going to make this time around. I think Nathaniel Collins is going to use the ring more. I don't think he's going to engage in that sort of that space, that dogfight that Lorente's only path to victory is the fight that Nathaniel Collins gave him from the 6th round onwards. Nathaniel Collins quit his game plan, stopped listening to his corner, and just stayed in the pocket when he could have outboxed Lorente. Lorente throws the most predictable setup jab. Lorente's whole game is to get into the pocket, cut distance, and do this. Prod, hopefully for an exchange, grab, exit. That's it. Nathaniel Collins is by far the much better boxer using the entire of the ring. He's more slick. He could hit, knock it in if he wanted to. He needs to just limit that. He needs to control his emotions. He needs to understand that this is a second chance to make a first impression. That first card was built around him in his home country, Scotland, against Lorente the first time, and it was a draw. I did have Collins edging it, but it was a draw, so it wasn't a successful outcome. He gets to rewrite that wrong. And I totally, and I like the fact that I talked about he's gone to America. He did his camp at Wildcard. He was Mark Mexayo's training partner for Mexayo's last fight on Zuffa, which Mark looked amazing. And I'm sure that Collins is going to take stuff from that camp as well. So I expect Collins to level up. I don't see Lorente adding. I think what we saw in Lorente is what we saw in Lorente. It's how he fights. So I like Collins on the money line, Collins on points, 2 separate bets. I have a double parlay with the method of victory of Collins and AB on points. That's plus money. And then I have Collins on the money line on a separate parlay. Yeah, okay. This is crazy how people, dude, you guys think Dave Bosh? He's fun. He's not beating Hergovich. You guys have no respect. You got dude, Hergovich can box, man. He can box. Dave Allen, he's fun. He's fun. I'd like to see Dave Allen versus Deontay Wilder. That's what I want to see. Or Dave Allen versus Ward Chisora. That's kind of like where we're at. Sam Gilly, let's go. Why was Rigapur knockout? Because we hindsight's 2020, man. We hit that. Shout out to the boys who followed the lead. Yes. Yeah, yeah. And Luis, if you want to check it out, I broke the first fight down. Yamaguchi versus Yoshida. I broke the first fight down. It's up on my page. Stats Don't Lie video. Yeah, I have Yamaguchi tonight on points at $1.80. It's an 80% return. Nothing heavy, nothing crazy, just enough for me to watch the fight. Sometimes that's what you got to do, boys. Sometimes that's what you got to do. You got to do a little sprinkle to just stay connected. So maybe we'll come up with a name for that type of bet. I know you guys do it. Don't look at me like I'm the only one. I know you guys do it. There's many fights that I'll sprinkle something just to watch. And that's this fight. Oh, look at my guy with the $20 dub. My man's dropping dubs out here. I appreciate you, brother. Win or lose, I like the fact that you don't provide a toxic boxing community like Southpaw TV, where I used to be a mod. I will always support your channel, never change your kind heart. Thanks for giving it. Oh, man, that's a beautiful statement. Thank you, brother. Yeah, I don't know who Southpaw TV is, but I do have to. The longer you're on my channel, you're going to hear this time and time again. I started this with one clear intention. It was to create a community of like-minded boxing fans whose favorite sport in the world is boxing, that we could agree and disagree with each other and not be racist about it, not be asshole-ish about it, not be mean-spirited about it. And I do, and we're building that. And, you know, we've had some growing pains in the past in our Discord, early days, but I've done a better job moderating it. And when I first launched it, I thought that because people were paying to be there, that they got to say whatever they wanted, and it was an honor system. But no, that you can't. You have to have ethics. And so now our group and our squad and our team and our community, the group standards should be how you hold yourself to your own standard, how you would treat each other in public, how you would treat your best friend, how if your mother was in the room, if your father was in the room, if your sister, your son, etc. That's what I wanted to create, and that's what we're creating. Thank you for the super chat. Thank you for the kind words, and I really appreciate it. Whitaker 1-6. When these props drop, that thing is going to get smashed, Jay. That thing is going to get smashed. Everybody's saying Whitaker 1-6. Yeah, his Argentinian opponent has a 96% career knockout to win ratio. Of his 4 losses, he's been stopped 3 times. All of his losses have taken place outside of Argentina. What does that tell you? How do you say hand-picked? Every week is a get money week. Definitely money to be made. I totally agree. My boy Kane in the house. Shout out to my boy Kane. Johnny's actually a humble man. Responding to my message on Discord. That's what's up. I appreciate you, man. Guys, I try to respond to everybody. I get, and you guys know this, whether you're messaging me on Instagram. Bum equipment. If you're watching this, I got to get back to your email, because I run a coaching business too. This is just half, probably a quarter of what I do. So there's a lot of people I have to get back to on Instagram, Discord, but I get back to everybody. It just takes me time. Okay, what did They Love Eddie say? I might just put a couple fights from this week, next week fights. I'm not going to let the Arbuckle fight be the deciding factor. Yeah. I want somebody to tell me why that fight is on everyone's radar. Hrgovic is going to smack Allen around without getting deep into it. What's your early read on Miller Pero? I don't rate Jarreau at all. He'll be 38 in July and has looked awful. Pero is everybody in our group has been messaging me. Like, I'll say 5 people have messaged me about this fight, and all 5 like Pero. Let's look at the odds. We might as well do it now. Why is Miller the favorite here? Is that why everybody's messaging me? Is Miller the favorite? Wow, he's the favorite. Guys, if this is the case, and you know how these things work, you know how these odds things work, the minute we start talking about this stuff, these odds are going to shift. So, guys, if you don't need my blessing. I trust you guys. A lot of times, I get all the credit when we hit, but I think it's a 50-50 relationship with us. A lot of my pick, dude, we're a community. So, like, if you love this pick, Peril at plus 155, take it now. I just haven't got to it yet. I haven't, it's hard for me to invest the time into a fight that isn't this week. You know what I mean? That's all I can say about that. But you're like the fifth, sixth person who's brought it up to my attention over the last 2 weeks. So if you like Peril, I would just jump on it. Not gonna lie, the best version of Clark was the first fight against Wardley. Ah, okay. Did he look at physical wise? Was he? I just felt like his body composition in this fight, even his core, like the shoulders, even his face. He looked like he wasn't gonna be denied, man. It's sad though. Fraser Clark hasn't gotten a win in 5 of his last fights, but lonely sport, sad sport, brutal sport, tough sport. It is, man. That's why I don't bash fighters. That's why I don't clown fighters. Why I don't call fighters bums. The biggest, and if I do, call me on it. But if the biggest derogatory statement we'll say is like a domestic level fighter, that shouldn't be. You shouldn't get emotional about being called a domestic level fighter. That's literally just the natural progression when guys either level up or they haven't leveled up yet. But you're never going to hear me call anyone a bum. I don't even like using the word washed. I think that's ultra disrespectful, but there's other ways to go about it. So it is a lonely sport, man. You're out there alone. He fought well, man. Like you could see the preparation was on point, and it's in the preparation that you see the commitment to the craft. I think that's why sometimes we as fans get pissed at our fighters and we call them washed or we call them bums because they'll give a performance that's so evidently based upon they didn't prepare. That's super disrespectful to us fans. So I get it. When we see that, like when you see a guy just underperform and you're like, man, he didn't prepare for this. That's what would you even get out of bed for then? That was not phrase. Big phrase definitely prepared. That fight is off, Magana. That whole card got canceled. The Kyrgyzstan card that was going down this Saturday in Kyrgyzstan, Luis Neri Casimero, fight card's not happening. I was taking Luis Neri though. I just couldn't do Ben via. We didn't look. I thought Ben, based on Regis's age, I thought it was possible Ben to get the stoppage. I didn't play it though. I don't know many people. I didn't see any tickets in our Discord that had Connor Ben by knockout, so I didn't see it being played. But it would be unfair when you're breaking that fight down prior to not suggest that Connor would probably stop Regis based on what Regis, how old he was and what his legs look like. And we saw that at the end of the first round, the wobbly. But I don't know many people who played the Connor knockout. I know that a lot of people played Connor on points, and a lot of people played Connor money line. I felt like those were the two safest moves. So I ended up putting up a lot of money line. Yeah, Hooney concerned me a little bit. I was confident. Yeah, dude, Hooney was that was stressful. It was stressful. Fraser made it competitive. I still had Hooney up a couple rounds. I'm glad he didn't get. I thought they were going to draw us. One of the reasons I follow you and stay in your Discord is because you're a positive person, mate. Appreciate you. It's really. I think it comes down to it's a perspective thing on life, man. It's thank you, man. I know a lot of guys don't like when I get philosophical on here, but I think the people who don't like that side of me, they don't know me. Like I didn't just wake up and start doing boxing content. I'm a writer. I write books. I'm an author. I interview people. I've been doing this for over a decade. I have a master's degree. I have an undergrad in sports psychology. I help people. I coach people. I teach people. It matters to me how I treat people. My whole mission in life is to help people. So when I wake up every morning, the first thing I am is I'm grateful for waking up. And I tell myself, I'm going to help people today. If I could help some person, I've helped myself. And I had to learn that in my 20s when I was depressed, drunk, dark, drugs, like all the same story we all have. Everybody, dude, we all go through our shit. So it was just an awakening for me in my late 20s of the only way I could overcome my vices and how I could dig myself out of this hole that I put myself in through bad habits was I had to change the way I think. I had to change the way I thought about myself. And once that happened, I was able to help people, and then I helped myself, and it comes out into this. So I appreciate you noticing that. I'm not gonna lie, I only knew about the Arbuckle fight because of the odds. Yeah, yeah. All right, Eddie. I respect that, brother. If that, I respect that. Me too, man. Because I've gotten a lot of questions about that fight, and I was like, because if that fight is on our ticket, like if we saw that fight, the odds last week, or if we see it on like Jaron Ennis versus Xander Zayas fight week, no one would ask about that fight. So I was just making sure that I wasn't missing out on a prospect. Like, was this sort of like a Euro prospect situation that I didn't know about? Should I go to my tape right now and tape Lavar's? That's why I asked. So appreciate you. Lavar's has more amateur fights, going to do more study. No, on Sunday I seen the fight and done a little research. Found out Nico was a former. Shout out to our chat. Shout out to our Discord. Shout out to Selfmade. This is what I'm talking about. See, we're all learning. I seen the fight and I've done a little research. Found out Nico was on former Team Great Britain and Italy. Really, he's a former Team GB and Italy boxer as an amateur, and he's been sparring with Conlon and is in the same camp as Zalt. Okay, so now I think we're on to something. Now we have a lean. Now with that, that's great information on Lavar's. Now we have to talk a little bit about his opponent. You know what? The reason, guys, the reason why I'm being so, I don't mean to be critical about these questions, but as the weekend was coming to an end this past weekend, we had just gone 100% on all of our plays. 100% on Pro Box, the first card, 100% in the UK. And we were just sitting back and just letting the weekend come to a beautiful end, right? And then my phone was getting hammered, my inboxes about a fight, the Dwight Fleming's fight, and he was fighting the Olympian. And I'm like, we didn't even. Why is everybody asking me about this fight all of a sudden? I was like, this isn't. I was like, oh, this must be an odds play because. So I didn't bet that fight. I told everybody who messaged me, I'm already up. At this stage of the game with 2 fights left in the weekend, it was on the undercard of Vito Melnicki. I was like, it's not a fight I have my eyes on. I'm already up. I'm not going to even play this fight. And I'm not saying any names. You guys probably know a lot of the names that message me. All of them lost. They all lost because they all took Dwight Fleming's, DJ Fleming's, the Jersey kid. They all took him. And so patterns emerge. And so this fight has that same sort of energy to it. Like, is this an odds play that people are just playing? You know what? My insight is always like, if you question it, if you don't have pertinent information about the matchup, don't play it. But now we have pertinent information. So it might change. It might change. Thank you, Johnny. I'll post my. What's up, Mervin? Hergovich seemed to have stamina as last. I don't see a path to victory for Dave Allen. Navar also signed with Queensberry, so they want him to win. You guys are beasts. Give me a second. And those odds are already going down. So when I started this live stream an hour ago, Nico was at $1.90. He's at $1.86. So Nico's the B side, but everybody in this chat is saying Nico. Let's see how the poll's doing. Only 2 people. I must have did something wrong with this poll. Guys, like this video. Johnny, I'm a huge Nakatani fan, but I can't see how he beat anyway. Same. I like Nakatani. I like his American pedigree. We know he's a Japanese fighter, but we know, he's cut his teeth, his coach, his camp, always in America. I love his body punching. I love his height and reach. It's hard for me to bet against anyway. It really comes down to that. It really comes down to that. I'm glad it's happening. 122. Junto's coming up from 18. The fight, it's going to be a blockbuster. It's just hard for me to bet against anyway. I like both guys too. Got to be honest with you. The unofficial scorecard, one of the judges was full of shit in the Hooney fight. Yeah, what, 94-94? That was insane. The boys were stressing. Lavar's is good. You got to watch his last one. I will. He's fast. Guys, stay tuned, man. You guys are the best. Thank you so much for the support. We're growing. I'm going to get on the Lavar's tape. Shout out to you boys for bringing up Dylan Arbuckle and Nico Lavar's. You guys talked me into it. I'm going to check it out. I'm going to tape it. I'll let you know soon. I'll see you guys.